What's going on, family? This week, I wanted to talk about the follow-up, right? Because we've all heard it said that the fortune is in the follow-up, right? But how intentional have you really been in this area? Are you following up on all your leads? Are you following up with your past and present clients? Are you following up with all your referrals? Do you have a system in place to make sure that nothing and no one is falling in between the cracks? Because here's the reality. Effectively following up with your existing customers is key and may take some time, but it builds stronger relationships, which is what drives more revenue long-term, right? Because we're in this for the long term, right? We want to go all the way with it. And yes, I understand the sale is the main goal, but it's not always the only goal. Right? This is where some people get a little tripped up. Sometimes it's just touching base to see how your client or your customer is doing. And if they have any specific needs, they might get you closer and closer to that sale. So sometimes it's just touching base. And by the way, following up one time is not going to cut it. Because like we all know, it is possible, right? It's possible for the deal to be closed the first go around, but it can take up to usually 7 touches before you seal the deal, right? And you also want to make sure that you're following up after the deal is complete too, because that's that going the extra mile that's going to set you apart. Trust me when I tell you that. That little thing right there, following up with them after you close the deal, right? That's that extra mile that is going to set you apart. That's going to make you memorable. People are going to be like, wow, he even checked up on me, or she even checked up on me afterwards. Yes, afterwards. Trust me when I tell you, try giving that a shot. But this past week, I was able to close 3 big deals. Why? All because of the follow-up. I'm telling you, the fortune is in the follow-up. It took me between around 3 or 4 follow-ups before these deals were closed. And it took around between 1 to 2 months for these 3 deals that I closed. So it can take some time. Like I said, it can take some time, but slow and steady. You always know, I like to say slow and steady gets the job done. And this is another thing. You don't want to feel like you're being a bother, because follow-up is a good thing, right? It's a good thing. Just don't follow up every single day, because then that can get bothersome. But you want to have a process and a system in place for your follow-ups, because I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, that's where the fortune is. That's where you're going to get most of your deals, because you're building relationships, you're following up. And here's the key. The key is that you want to stay on top of their minds consistently, right? Whether it's through email, social media, phone calls, or even what I like to do is by handwritten notes sometimes, which some may say is a little old-fashioned, but that can still take you a long way, right? That still goes a long way. When people get that letter and they're like, oh, wow, they took the time to actually write a note. Yes, people still love that. So go ahead and incorporate that. But I want you to give these 4 methods a try this week and see what happens within the next 3 months. Continue to do it, and within the next 3 months, and keep track of the results. Because remember, the fortune is in the follow-up. So who do you need to follow up with this week, right? So if you have any questions or comments, guys, feel free to go ahead and drop them below. Have an amazing week. And as always, I'll see you at the top, because the bottom is overcrowded. Take care, God bless, and have an amazing day.